Proformance and Elevate, Little Rock, Arkansas. Let me introduce to my far right, Dustin Mosley. This is Jay Sawatsky. This is Will Lewis. These are the guys who are the brain trust of Proformance and Elevate. Where in the world can you go where you can get some professional training, whether it be baseball training, whether it be athletic training, where you can have 3 professional athletes help you do that? Dustin Mosley, former and current pro baseball player. Jay Sawatsky, former pro baseball player. Will Lewis, former pro baseball player. Guys, welcome.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Dustin Mosley, tell us about what's going on here. Tell us what we have here at Proformance and Elevate.
Well, we think we've got something that, nationally, I don't know if they've got, especially with the 3 athletes, of everything that we have to offer. We know the state of Arkansas doesn't, and the fact that the city of Little Rock, we feel, is what we're putting out there and giving to them is something not only great for the community and the athletes, but I think it's great for the adults too, with everything that's going on. But what we've created here is we've got a vision where we feel like that we can train multiple athletes, not just baseball players. We can train baseball players to be athletes, especially the pitchers that are always, we're always told we're not athletes, and Will can attest to that. It gives me a hard time just about daily. But anyways, what we want to do is we want to create real athletes out here, but we also want to create real men. We wanted to help grow these young men and grow their parents along with them on the idea of what they need to do, what they don't need to do, what their academics are. It's a question that we ask almost weekly about all the kids, and there's more to just being an athlete as far as producing and playing well. There's other things off the field that you need to do as far as giving back to the community and taking care of your family and friends, and then helping the young guys along too. So that's what we're trying to promote here, is to do all the above. And the fact that this place and of everything we have with Elevate and Proformance side, we can train the athlete, we can rehabilitate the athlete. We've teamed up with Physical Therapy Institute, Chris Long and Derek Lagerman. We've got them on our side. We've got a lot of people in our corner helping in any way possible with all these kids and the professional athletes.
Jay, talk a little bit about what you bring here to the table as far as pitching mechanics and taking a kid and showing them the proper way to throw a baseball.
Well, kind of what we've done, we don't have a cookie-cutter approach that not saying a lot of people do, but a lot of coaches do, and a lot of it's just the lack of education. What we're able to do with the experience we have is kind of take bits and pieces of what we've been taught by other coaches, kind of take the things that worked for us, maybe the things that didn't work for us, and we can apply that to somebody and kind of see if it works for them. If it doesn't, we figure something else out, because everybody's body works differently. But we've had enough coaching, we've played at every level, and we kind of know the things that you can fall into by being overcoached. When you play professionally, you'll have 7 or 8, 9 pitching coaches in one organization, and every one of them wants to tell you the way that it should be done. And so the best thing you can do for yourself is become your own coach as soon as possible. Learn how your body works. If you throw 90 miles an hour, throw 90. Don't try to throw 97. Stay within yourself and be the pitcher that you are. And I think that's what we bring, is we can maximize the pitcher that an individual is. Growing up in high school, I had good coaching. My dad played professional baseball. My grandfather played professional baseball. They were both catchers. The fundamentals of throwing a baseball, they taught me very well. Once I got to be 14, 15 years old, my dad kind of threw his hands up and said, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to be a pitcher. I was a catcher. So I kind of figured everything out on my own until I got to college, and that's when I really received pitching instruction and really excelled once I received that instruction. So I think what we bring here is we can teach that at a young age, where a dad that maybe played high school or college baseball, if he didn't pitch, may not have the education to teach his son how to do it. And so, being able to teach 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old kids how to do that at a young age, I think is going to be great for the city of Little Rock and their baseball program.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And Will Lewis, you bring some great hitting experience and hit a baseball, played professionally, played junior college, Seminole Junior College, TCU, All-American baseball player and a pro baseball player. But your not your main, forte as such, but on the Elevate and Proformance and Elevate, the Proformance has a lot to do with baseball, has a lot to do with baseball and baseball training, but the Elevate has a lot to do with training and training the athlete correctly. Talk a little bit about the Elevate in.
Elevate, it's pretty much for athletes, but also we work with parents. One of the big things that we like about Proformance is that, well, while the kids are getting quality instruction, the parents, they've worked a long, hard day, and so maybe they want to mix in a workout. So they can kill two birds with one stone. Kids can get instruction while they get a workout in, and they can go home, eat dinner, and go about their business. We train a lot of athletes, from baseball players, football, basketball, volleyball, soccer. And also people that, have everyday lives, 9 to 5. They work hard. They want to continue to focus on their body. And also we teach everyone about nutrition, because and if you eat poor foods, your play is going to be poor. You won't have the right energy. You won't be focused in that area as well. So that's pretty much what we're all about.
Dustin, talk a little bit about these two guys right here, how you got together with these guys to bring them into a business that is serving not only Little Rock, but Central Arkansas, and really this thing is going to go around the United States of America eventually, because you guys are doing it right at Proformance and Elevate.
Well, me and Will grew up together.
Okay.
I think he's spending out with me when we were probably 6 or 7 or 8 years old. We played together all growing up. He was always a year older as far as school went, but he was always at the same level all throughout the grades of Little League and Dixie and everything before high school. So we were always at the same age. He's young for his grade. With Jay, me and him played on a little travel team back in the day, back in our senior year of high school.
Is that right?
Got to know each other that way. Got to know him. Went to University of Arkansas. When I went up there to visit Carly, my wife went to the school. I saw Jay a handful of times, and we'd always catch up. And he was having success in the minor leagues at the time, and so we kind of hit it off there. And then I don't know. I think it was like 2.5 years ago. We were at the Texas Roadhouse. I was picking up some food, and Jay likes to wear his hat pretty low. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, man, that looks just like Jason Watsky. I hadn't seen him in 4 or 5 years.
Right.
I don't know. And I said, Jay, and he didn't look up. Jay didn't look up. And next thing you know, I'm looking at him. He looks up and goes, Mose? And I go, yeah. He goes, I thought I heard somebody calling my name. I said, well, dude, I was over here Googling you to make sure it was you. And so anyways, that's kind of where we reconnected. I found out he was living here. He was a sports agent at the time. And we started bouncing ideas back and forth. I told him this vision that I've had for a really long time. He was like, man, that would be incredible. I think Little Rock could be a city that it could work for. And then with his group, they downsized with the agency. He was getting a little burnt out. He wanted something fresh and new. So we started kind of just collaborating on some ideas. We went over to his mom's house and sat down in the basement and started putting numbers on paper. And, next thing you know, this is just an idea. We were hoping it would become something. Man, this thing got legs. And then once it got some legs to it, and we're like checking out leases for buildings. Yeah. We've been talking about, man, we need another guy. I need some more help on the Elevate side, and we need a quality hitting instructor. But what we need more than anything is we need a quality person, because what we're building here, the brand we're building here, isn't just about the instruction. We want to help these young men become young men. All three of us, I can honestly say, we feel like we're all the examples that we should be. Have we made past mistakes? Absolutely. We've learned from them, but that's what we bring to the table to help with these kids. So once I talked to Jay and made sure he was cool with it, that we try to open this thing up a little more, I called Will and dropped it on him, and we probably didn't talk for 6 or 8 weeks about it. I just told him, hey, this is what we're going. Are you interested? He said, yeah, I'm interested. Then I called him and said, hey, man, we're about to pick out a lease for a building. We want you. There's not a more perfect guy. He's certified in anything and everything on the training side.
Sure. And
he was an incredible hitter, incredible position player, just a great all-around athlete. He ran like a 4.4 in high school. So I said, man, I need you to come down. He called me back. He said, hey, I talked to my wife. She's pumped up. She's kind of looking for something. She's giving me her blessings. I think I'm in. And I said, all right. So anyways, I went down for a recruiting trip, took him to a World Series game in St. Louis, and we hung out there, had a great time. He told me he was coming down the next day. I woke up. I'm heading back back to Little Rock, and I called him. I said, hey, man, I know we had a good time last night. I need to know, do you come? Are you coming? I just need. He said, man, I already told you I'm coming. I'm coming. I said, man, I couldn't think of a better group to put together, especially we've got a great hitting instructor, a great trainer. We got a guy that knows everything on the sports agent side. He's got contacts with all these colleges. We got kids that come in the place, and we say, hey, is anyone on you? Have you? No, I'm a senior. Hey, Jay's got contacts out the kazoo to call people and say, hey, you need to come see this guy. He's got a great arm. He works his butt off. So, and then from my side of it, of the professional side too, and just the people that I know around the state of Arkansas, I said, man, I think this is going to be special. And so far, we've been open since February, and we haven't marketed the place. We're just hoping that, as you can see and look around, this costs a lot of money to put together. We're trying to save our money from the marketing side and hoping word of mouth would work. And so far, I mean, people are catching on, and it's starting to become the vision and dream we want it to be.
Hey, Jay, let's talk a little bit about, being a guy who got to do his dream, play for the University of Arkansas, pitch in a College World Series, and then go play pro baseball. And then all of a sudden it comes to a screeching halt. We talk about injuries from time to time, and all of us have injuries, and you need a place that you can go to work after that. And looky here, it's pretty neat when you can come to work and do something that you love. Absolutely. And you love baseball.
Yep. Baseball is really all I've done in my professional career. And it's one of those deals. It's funny, my fiance asked me a few days ago, we were driving down the road on the way to go fishing, and she said, what did you want to be? Did you ever want to be a firefighter or anything when you were growing up? And I said, no. She said, well, what did you want to be? I said, a baseball player. And, so that's really what I've done my entire life. I was fortunate enough to get a scholarship to the University of Arkansas, had a blast there. That was one of the highlights of my playing career. Unlike Dustin, who in high school, the reality of professional baseball was there for him. That to me was still kind of just a pipe dream, that maybe it'll come true. But,
absolutely.
But I knew from a fairly young age, early high school, that I was good enough to play college baseball. I didn't know what level. So getting this college scholarship and everything was great, and I had a great time at Arkansas. Definitely got better. Got to play in a College World Series, host a Super Regional, and really, I think be part of what's put Arkansas Razorback baseball back on the map.
Right.
And then it wasn't really until my junior year that professional baseball kind of came into the picture of this could be a reality. And, so getting to play professional baseball was something that I grew up from 5 years old. My grandfather playing 10 years in the big leagues and my dad doing it, getting to carry on kind of the family history of doing that was something that was real special to me. That growing up, it just seemed like, those guys are it's an unattainable dream that, and when I signed that pro contract and got to go play, it was kind of that dream realized, and it was very special to be able to do.
And you bring that to the table here, and you talked about it earlier about what you can bring from a mechanic standpoint at this place, at Proformance and Elevate, to teach a kid what he needs to know, and that every kid is not the same.
Right. No, every kid's not the same. If you had me and Dustin get on the mound together and you said, Dustin throw like Jay, Jay throw like Dustin, there's no telling what the outcome of that's going to be. Our bodies move differently. If you watch a professional baseball game, if you watch a full year, you're going to see hundreds of pitchers, and there's really no two that are going to look alike. There's different ways to throw. There's certain spots of your delivery that you have to get to not only protect your arm, but be efficient and effective. But there's a million different ways to do it. You take just the way that the delivery has evolved from the hands over the head to now it's a lot calmer and everything. It works a lot of different ways. We try to take what the kid does naturally, the way that his body moves, and try to maximize what the results that we can get from how the kid is. We don't say, well, I did it this way, so this is the way you're going to do it. We got to take.
And you see a lot of that in what I call daddy ball.
Sure.
You see a ton of that in what we call daddy ball.
Sure.
And this is the way we're going to do it because this is the way I was taught 35 years ago.
Right. And it's not because that's wrong. It's just because dads don't know.
Sure.
There's just a lack of education. And, the best thing about that with the daddy balls is the dads are going out and playing catch. That's what they're doing because that's what's important here.
It is important.
If you come in here once a week, we can give you instruction here, but it's up to you the other 6 days of the week to get out and throw. That's the big thing is that everybody's talking about kids are throwing too much. Kids are throwing too much. They're throwing too much on one day, and then they're taking 6 days off and then not throwing again
right.
until on the 7th day, and then they play a game and they throw too much that day. When I was a little kid, we played 7 days a week.
Absolutely.
If we weren't at the ball field, we were playing cut ball in a parking lot. If we were at the swimming pool, we were throwing tennis balls around, and that's what kids need to be doing. They need to be throwing.
We go from the mechanical end on throwing a baseball to the mechanical, the physical, the emotional, the real strategic end of training and elevate. And a guy, Will, has a degree kinesiology. Tell us a little bit about kinesiology, what that is and how that helps you in your day-to-day operation, your day-to-day job here.
Kinesiology is basically a study of the movement of the body, and it fits perfect when you're trying to deal with people and working out and getting healthy, because not only are you doing the workout, you know exactly what the muscles are doing. You know what muscles to work to reach a particular goal for that client. And so it works well. And also, the more that you can teach them about how the body works, the less they'll need you. A lot of personal trainers want their clients to need them forever and ever. A true personal trainer wants them to be able to do it on their own. That's what we're there for. We're to train you how to work without using me ever.
Well, guys, there's no doubt that you guys have assembled a wonderful staff of people, not only from a baseball standpoint or a training standpoint. And, we, like I say, we'll train soccer players, tennis players. If you're in track and you need some conditioning work or, whatever the case may be, that we're here at Proformance and Elevate. Just quickly, before we get away, what do you guys see as the future? What's the future of a business like this? What's the future of a business like this, Dustin?
Man, honestly, our vision from the get-go, we don't know if there's a ceiling on this. We really don't, because what we think of what we put together and the strategy that we have, whether it be a lesson or be the memberships of everything that we offer for the price point where it's at, especially with the level of expertise and of us being professional athletes and actually helping your kids and teaching your kids. There are a lot of athletes, when they finish playing, they got a little money in their pocket and they had an injury, they had something that happened a little premature, and they go, what do I do now? Well, a lot of them, start selling insurance or pharmaceutical sales, and they want athletes, they want guys that can compete, they want those things. But a lot of these guys still have this fire and passion for the game of baseball. Some of them don't want to coach minor league baseball. Some of them don't even want to coach peer. They would just like to just help kids individually, one-on-one. So what we think is that the idea of this place could potentially be all over the nation if we can get other professional athletes to buy into the system of what they're doing. Call it a franchise, call it what you want, but help them create a facility that's gonna help all the kids all over the country, not just in Little Rock, Arkansas, not just in Arkansas, but where you're doing it the right way, you're giving the right instruction, and you're also, as on the kinesiology side and Will's side, is where we brainstorm, is preparing the body to get ready to do the work that you're about to do. That's one of the parts that's missed. And every lesson we do, they run through a dynamic warm-up, a full speed and agility for 12 minutes to make sure that the body's warm.
Jay, when people sign up, and of course, this is shown on our website, and of course, we're on Facebook, a lot of other social media. Talk a little bit about what a parent should expect that a kid's really going to learn when they come in here.
From a parent's expectation, I think they come in and they know they're going to get personal treatment when they walk through the door.
Good deal.
They're not going into a gym that has 1,000 members and they're just another number that pays their $20 a month, come in and use some equipment and leave and never says a word to anybody. The parents that come in, we interact with on a daily basis. We know all of our members' names, we know, and we take an interest in the kid. There's much more of a personal approach to it. And I think that's really important in a place like this, is the parents are comfortable coming in. Because when the kid comes out and is taking a lesson, we encourage the parent to come out, listen to the lesson so they know what they're instructing away from here. But a lot of them want to sit in there in the lounge and watch TV, and they'll visit with us, personal lives, things going on at work. And I think that's the level of comfort that they have with us. We're real people. There's nobody in here that says, well, I'm a former professional baseball player, I'm better than you. That's not the case. We're real people, and we interact with our members and enjoy having them interact with us and get to know them.
Hey, Will, no doubt, again, what you bring from the kinesiology standpoint, it's a passion that you love.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Ever since I was little, I've always been active. And when I went to college, there was nothing else that I wanted to study. I wasn't good at art. I wasn't good at business. I was always good with knowing what muscles do because I worked the heck out of them growing up. And so that was the only thing that interests me. So I made sure that I learned as much as I could in school.
And passing it on to others. And I'm going to do this just on the spur of the moment. Grant Black, come join us, please. And kind of a story here. We're going to talk with momentarily the first guy that started working out at this facility. He started actually before we got going, and he just happens to be my youngest son. My oldest son is behind the camera. Grant, tell us a little bit from the start. I mean, from the very beginning, or let me ask you this. What's it been like working with these three guys?
It's been a pleasure, no doubt. I felt the personal side that Jay was just talking about. Just when I came in, I felt like I made 3 new friends and feel like I could call these guys at any time for anything. They were genuine individuals and 3 of the most positive individuals I've ever been around. And it's just been a great experience so far from start to now.
Well, Grant comes in coming off Tommy John surgery, needed somebody to throw with. Dustin Mosley, coming off some surgery himself, needed somebody to throw with. Got together, and it's a match made in heaven. Dustin, as we talked about in his bio, a former professional baseball player, as all 3 of these guys are, and now a current Major League Baseball player, and your throwing partner's been Grant all along, so you guys have worked hard at it.
Oh, we have. Well, it started out, I always have to get a feel for before I offer things for certain guys, because some guys don't like to work. There's a lot of guys that don't like to work. They need some added motivation. As soon as Grant came through the door, Elevate wasn't even finished. The lights were off. I remember one time we're in there, and I said, "What do you want to do?" He said, "Let's train, man." The exit lights had enough light, and we're getting after it. So right then I knew that I had a guy here that wanted to put the work in. I had only seen him throw through a video. I didn't know how the arm worked. We weren't to that point yet. But as we continued just to lift and train together, then I realized the kind of guy was, the kind of effort that he was putting into it. So next thing you know, you went from paying us to him getting paid, because now he works up here. So it's been pretty cool. But to see, especially on your side too, David, for you to trust me with the ideas that I've had, okay, of going out.
Because we did something different with Tommy John. We did something different.
We got out of the box here.
Absolutely.
We got out of the box, and we did this a whole different way, and I think that we're really on to something here, and the fact that you entrusted Grant with me to put him through that, and the fact that Grant hasn't missed a day since February 3rd of any of his throwing program, I think this is something special. So for you guys and for Grant, man, I thank you as much as you probably feel towards me of holding me accountable, keeping me in here, and keeping my brain working to think about what will work for an elbow, what will work for a shoulder. And hey, look at us now, man. I just signed. You signed with a great junior college in Northwest Mississippi, so I think it's going to be perfect.
Here's what I want to say. I want to say this, that in February, before Grant Black got here, we were worried sick about where he was going to be in his baseball training and his baseball livelihood, where he was going to be for this coming fall, because we had no idea where we would be. And his wife, my wife, Linda, and I were sitting down in March of this year, and we said this. After a month, we said, our kid has been throwing for a month. He had Tommy John surgery in September. He has no place to go play. He has no scholarship offers. We have no idea where we're going to be. And we said we are in the best shape that we've ever been from a positive standpoint of leading in some direction, for having been at Proformance and Elevate, for being around you guys who have been a tremendous role model to this guy. And I've told all of y'all that before. It's not only about training, and it's not only about getting back to playing baseball. It has to do about life, and it has to do about what you learn and who teaches you along the way. And I've often said about the game of baseball, it's not the game itself that's important, but it's the relationships that you make, and it's the memories that you have from those relationships. And guys, there's no doubt that what this guy has been given from the 3 of you and the experience that he has received is second to none. I would recommend you guys to anybody that wants to come in and learn not only about baseball and not not only about training, but about how to be a man and how to go about yourself in life, because this guy has experienced it at Proformance and Elevate, and these guys right here are the reason that Proformance and Elevate are where they are today. Final thoughts, guys. Final thoughts, Dustin.
I just thank everybody for watching the video, and if you think about coming in, I thank you for coming in. This is a dream of all three of ours. You know, I mean, we get to live it out every day. We get to interact with the kids. We love giving back. It's something that we've all done all throughout our career, and even going back further than that, back through high school. So for me, it's gratitude for me. I'm grateful for everything that everyone that's going to do, and the only way that Proformance is going to work is because of you. So, any way we can help, we tell everybody that comes through the doors. Any questions you ever have, don't hesitate to ask. You can just pick up the phone and give us a call if you have a question about your kid, or if this is going, that's going. We're here to help. That's all we want to do. We want to lead kids in the right way. We want to help them, and we also want to keep them healthy so they don't have to endure what we've had to endure, because it's no fun sitting on the sideline watching your teammates play.
Jay, final thoughts.
A lot of the same points that Dustin touched on. You know, me being a Little Rock guy, I couldn't be more excited to bring what we have here to the city of Little Rock. In playing baseball and working on the other side of the fence, I've been in a lot of facilities like this, scouting and training myself. And there's nothing that I've seen that compares to what we have, and the people training there that are working with the client that have the level of experience that we have. And so to be able to start, like Dustin said earlier, that we see this, we don't see a ceiling to what this could be, but to have, if this does turn into a franchise or a nationwide deal, to have the first one literally 4 miles from the house that I grew up in is pretty special and means a lot to me. And that's what I want everybody to come in, check it out. It's a great facility, and you got three guys that are really passionate about what they do.
Will?
I just want to say thanks to everybody out there, all our members, all the people who walked through our doors and supported us or told a friend about us. I just want to say we truly appreciate it, and we hope to be here in Little Rock for a long, long time. Thank you.
Proformance and Elevate here on the website. Guys, I appreciate y'all so much for taking time to do this and letting me be involved. And Grant Black, I guess you say these guys have done a pretty good job with you.
They've done great. It's been a heck of an experience for somebody that was kind of down and out for a certain period of time. Didn't look like anything good was going to happen, and then to come into three guys like this, make three great friends for the rest of my life, I couldn't ask for a better experience.
That's what it's all about at Proformance and Elevate in Little Rock.